Welcome everyone, I'm Kingly Valence, and thanks for watching the Spore Galactic Adventure speedrun. A couple weeks ago, we completed a speedrun to reach the highest captain rank in Galactic Adventures. These were the first world records for these runs, clocking in just under an hour. I was pretty happy with these times, as they broke the hour mark, and was a really good starting point for this speedrun. However, there was a huge revelation that makes these previous runs completely obsolete, and we can already improve the speedrun significantly. If you haven't seen the first video about reaching the maximum rank, I recommend watching that video first, but I'll give a quick recap here. To reach the highest rank in Galactic Adventures, we need to reach a total of 4,375 captain points, and each adventure completed awards a certain number of points towards our captain. Our strategy was to use a mix of Maxis-made and user-made adventures that give the most points in the least amount of time. The time it takes to complete adventures can vary a lot, but each Maxis-made adventure is usually worth 100 points. Whereas user-made adventures are worth anywhere from 5 to 100 points. And after calculating the points per time ratio for every adventure we downloaded onto a spreadsheet, we found 58 great adventures that were all pretty fast and worth enough points to reach our goal of 4,375 captain points. And in the previous video, while I had done several hours of research to find the best adventures for this run, I called out to anyone who may know of any more good adventures that may be a good fit for this run that I didn't know about. And it turns out there's a bunch of official Maxis-made adventures that I didn't know existed that completely changes up the speedrun. And massive thanks to Bekria and Thaddeus Crews, hopefully I pronounced your names correctly, who both commented on the last video that there are actually multiple language versions for the robot chicken adventures. And all of these different language versions are each worth 100 captain points. This is incredible. And I immediately started working on a new spreadsheet to see how the speedrun could be optimized with these additional adventures. For example, here's the adventure Bloody Sunday in English. This is one of the robot chicken adventures we used in the previous speedrun. And here's Bloody Sunday in Russian, German, and Finnish. Each of these are their own adventures made by Maxis, each worth 100 points. And we can tell these are indeed different adventures because they each have a different Sporepedia ID number. The online Sporepedia gives a unique 12-digit ID number to every creation ever uploaded to the Sporepedia. But finding the IDs for all the different Bloody Sundays isn't easy, and Spore's website doesn't give much help either. This has always bugged me, but there's a link right here that says see all adventures created by Maxis. But when I click the link, it just says, sorry, no creations were found. Or if we click an author's name, this usually brings us to the user's homepage, and we can see all their creations uploaded here as well. But clicking on Maxis will bring us to this page just saying Maxis, creators of Spore. Not too helpful. However, another huge thanks to Liskomato, who knew of this post from the Spore Forum, of those who had already compiled a complete list of Spore IDs for every robot chicken adventure in every language. Unfortunately, the Spore Forum was shut down around 2018, but thanks to the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine, we can still see the complete list. Huge thanks to everyone in the credits list here from over 10 years ago who put in all this work for us today. This first post includes 10 language versions, but later in the forum, this post by Tigress5169 includes an additional 4 languages for the adventures as well. While these are technically different adventures, they all play the exact same. But interestingly, only 12 of them are worth 100 points. The French and Dutch versions are also worth 100 points, just like the other 10. But Spanish and Italian only got the 15-point prototype versions and never got the full 100-point adventures. Also interesting, the That's My Lunch robot chicken adventure only ever got one version in English, so only 10 of the 11 robot chickens got the multiple language treatment. I'm still super thankful these posts exist, and this page will be linked in the description if you'd like to read through the forum and explore around as well. But now we have everything we need to re-optimize the route for the speedrun. So back to the spreadsheet. We need 4,375 points to reach the max rank. And we want the adventures with the highest points to time ratio to get us these points. Unfortunately, the Clark and Stanley Go Camping DLC adventure did not have multiple languages. That would have been incredible for the speedrun. But the first Robot Chicken adventure to include multiple languages doesn't show up until all the way down here. Shenanigans Fun to See Theme Park was my most efficient Robot Chicken adventure all the way down here in 25th place. And also close by are Reader Dome, My Big Fat Pig Wedding, and Incontinent Continent. Since we only needed to complete these adventures once during the original speedrun, among 58 total adventures, I don't think I optimized these adventures as much as I could have. And if we were going to play these adventures possibly up to 12 times each during the run, let's see if we can improve these adventures a bit more. and after a bit more routing, especially my big fat pig wedding, by incorporating another launch from out of town back to the extraction point, we saved a lot of time for this adventure. And ultimately I found that Readerdome, my big fat pig wedding, and Shenanigans each took about a minute in real time to complete. This is also including the time during the quick play menu to select the adventure. This moves up these 3 robot chicken adventures tied for 24th place by efficiency. And since we have 36 adventures among all the different language versions for these 3 we can use, this means hopefully any other adventure less efficient than these can be dropped out. And if each of these versions are worth 100 points, let's see how many we need to actually reach our goal of 4,375 points. Using the spreadsheet to cumulatively add up the adventure points, starting with the most efficient adventures, we have 1,577 points by the time we reach our first Readerdome. Then traveling down the list, we get to the cutoff. Here at 4,377 points is just what we need to reach level 10. So it looks like we only need 28 of these 100-point multi-language adventures to reach our goal. We even had plenty more to go. I later decided to only use 10 of each, just to spread the adventures out a bit. So the final spreadsheet gives us 10 Readerdomes, 10 weddings, and 8 shenanigans to reach our point total. This is just my preferred split. They're all about the same time to complete. Each of these adventures can be completed consistently in about 60 seconds, including the extra quick play menuing. And since each of these are worth 100 points, that means the lowest points to time ratio per adventure in this speedrun is now 1.67. This is already a huge improvement to the speedrun, as we were occasionally dipping into the 0.7s before. Concert in the Park was the least efficient adventure in the previous run with 0.71. See ya, never playing you again. And remember the Spirits Are Restless? You're gone also. This takes out so many of the RNG heavy adventures. This also drops the total adventures needed to complete the speedrun from 58 adventures down to 51. Last time, we completed 2 versions of the speedrun, one with and without starting Captain Gear, and we will do the same today as well. And both runs now use the same list of adventures, which makes the route a lot easier to remember. The very start of the run begins with becoming a space captain. Since it's the lowest on the list, choosing it now will save a bit of menuing time, as the speedrun time starts once the first loading screen finishes. From here, complete the user-made instantly completable adventures, which are still very efficient to use, continuing on until we reach the robot chicken block. Interesting how these adventures are grouped up by language. Maxis must have exported each language at a time, instead of by adventure. For the speedrun, I prefer to do the same adventures all in a row, instead of switching between them. So after completing 10 Readerdomes, I'll then do 10 weddings, and end with 8 of the shenanigans fun to see theme parks. Thankfully, most of these adventures don't require much more than just the Sprint Burst Captain Gear. However, Shenanigans does also need a bit more Captain Energy and weapons to be completed consistently, which is why I saved this adventure for last, once we've unlocked everything. Running through the pick-a paths, defeating the final boss to deliver the key to one of the characters outside for the last time, earning our final Captain points to reach the highest rank at level 10, improving the speedrun from last time in 57 minutes and 51 seconds, now down to 42 minutes and 18 seconds. This is an incredible amount of time saved thanks to using multiple languages. And finally, completing the second run where we start with Captain Gear, saving a bit of time not needing to put on the new Captain Gear as we go, and completing this run as well in 41 minutes and 21 seconds. And of course, the Galaxy files used in this speedrun will be linked in the description, so anyone without a Spore account will still have access to everything I've shown here today, and the full runs will also be linked in the description as well. Thanks again to everyone who helped me drive this speedrun time even further down. And if you know of any more adventures that can improve this speedrun, let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm King Valence, and I'll see you next time.